Guys, welcome back to the channel. Look, we usually do homesteading videos, off-grid living, overlanding, glamping. I do product reviews. I just did a product review about these bunker traction boards for my tiny in case you get stuck in the snow. But right now I'm going to do some technical analysis because I have a follower. His name's Jeremy, and he's really digging the way I'm kind of teaching people about this stuff. He says I'm kind of making it pretty simple to understand. He was asking me about time frames and like which time frames do you use, and then he was asking me, what do you think the resistance is right now for XRP? I had to take that hoodie off. It's starting to be a rager here. Look, if you guys don't know, we moved from San Diego to Virginia, 32 acres, completely off grid, and we're living in a barn that we're converting into a barndominium. And right now I'm in this little room that I built out of tarp and out of like insulation board, and look, there's like cardboard on the top because the whole house is freezing, man. I'm talking like outside this little room it's like 11 degrees. Okay, inside this room I can get it up to about 54. I had to get out of that room, man. It was raging. Look, you can see it's snowing and cold outside. So Jeremy was asking me what time frame do I use, and that all depends on what type of trading you're doing. For instance, I used to be a day trader, right? And the time frames I used is like the 3-minute chart and a 5-minute chart. What that means is, and I'll show you in there when I get back into my little thermal room that I built. So if it's a 3-minute chart, every candle represents the price action of 3 minutes. And then after 3 minutes, a new candle goes, and that represents that price. And then after 3 minutes, it's another new candle. Same for 5 minutes. I don't do day trading anymore. It's very stressful, okay? I use swing trading, which is like long-term trading, like every maybe month or 2 or 3 months. And then I use a time frame of like days, weeks, and months. But let me show you kind of what a candle is first, and then we'll talk about time intervals. Talk about the basics of technical analysis, and that is the candle. So like if you want to read and write, first you need to learn how to do the letters, right? So this is the fundamentals, the basics. We need to learn about what a candle is. So this is a green candle, that's a red candle. This is bullish, that's bearish. This means that the price went up, this means that the price went down. What the candle body means, it's the time frame that you choose. So let's say this represents 1 minute. Maybe it could represent a day. This whole candle could represent a month. What do I mean by that? Let's say this candle represents a day. That's 24 hours, right? The body represents the opening and closing of that price. For instance, 6 in the morning starts your day. It opens up at $1, but it closed at $2 after that 24 hours. That's a day. But what are these wicks? The wicks show the extremes that price went up at the top, higher, and down at the bottom, lower. But it didn't close there. It just went up there. So here's an example. Here we go. It opened up at 6 in the morning at $1. At the end of 24 hours, it closed at $2. But throughout that whole trading day, the price went all the way down to 50 cents, and it went all the way up to $2.50. But it opened and closed from $1 to $2. Same with a bearish candle. Look, so the price closed lower on this time frame. Let's say in the 6 in the morning, it opened up here at $2. But at the end of 24 hours, at 6 in the morning the next day, it closed at $1. But throughout the day, it went all the way up to $2.50. It went all the way down to 50 cents. The body just represents the opening and closing. The wicks represent the extreme price that it went up to the top and the extreme price that it went down to the bottom. Let's talk about different time frames. You go up here on Trading View, and this is where your time frame is. Look, I click on that. That's 1 month. You can make that candle represent anything. It can represent a minute, an hour, 4 hours. And look, this is Trading View. Pretty much all exchanges, platforms use this same software. So I changed that to a month, and we're dealing with XRP. That means that each one of these candles represents a month. This is this month. That was last month. That was the month before. Let's look at the price action and look at the candle really quick before we get into the time frames. This is how you manipulate the thing. Look, if I go over here and scroll, it opens it up. If you click on the thing and move it around, it makes it put it into position. So this candle has really long wicks, right? But this is where it opened at. I'm going to put the line right there. It opened at 196 for that month, and then it closed at 206 for that month. But it went all the way down throughout that month to $1.85, and it went all the way up that month to $2.90. So I'm going to make this smaller. I'll scroll down here, and then I can move this over. Now let me change this to the daily. I'll go here. I can scroll down to like each candle represents a day now. So here you go. Now change. I'm using my wheel right here. If I move my wheel this way forward, or up, it makes it go like that. If I pull the wheel of my mouse towards me, it does that. This makes the price goes up and down like this, and then you can click on the price and move it around. So now each one of these candles represents a day. This is the day. That's yesterday. That's the day before. Now look, if I want to see what's going on in this day right here, I said day trade. If I want to see all the action for that day, I can change this time frame, right? I'm sorry, it's not focusing, to like every 5 minutes. So now that little red thing we were just looking at, I got it even, I'm going to see every 5 minutes within the last day. This is what it's been doing within the last 24 hours, every 5 minutes. This is what's happening right now. Let me make it a little bigger. You can watch it moving. And then that was 5 minutes ago. This was 5 minutes ago. So right now, you can kind of see it's bearish. Let me draw my little channel. I'll teach you guys how to draw channels. You go up to this trend line down here. I hit the parallel channel. And I can see the channel is like right here. We're in a downtrend on the 5 minute. Jeremy asked me, which time frame do you use? It all depends on what I want to do. If I want to find support and resistance, I'll use a longer time frame because I can look way back in the past. Watch this. I'm going to use a monthly time frame to find support and resistance. I got XRP on the monthly time frame, so each candle represents a month. And I want to find resistance, so I go back in time. And this is the highest we've been. This is all-time high. Resistance means the price went up and it couldn't go any higher. It's hitting like a ceiling. So how do I mark that so I can see what the price is? I'll go over here to my little drawing tools. I'll go down to a horizontal line, and then I'll take my cursor and I'll put my line right here and click. Ready? Right there. Bam. Hopefully that's pretty close. And if you go over, that price is in black. 330. That's like the all-time high. And you can see right now we're battling up against resistance and we broke out of it. Now look at this. I can switch the time frame from monthly. Now I'm going to go to a day, and you're going to see what is happening with that resistance right there and how we're working. Oh, you can see we're working. Each candle represents a day now. Look, we popped out of it, but we popped back under. There's a little weakness. We need to get out of here. So I can find support too. So like if I look at this, support means where it comes down and it bounces like a floor, like it's not going any lower than that. I can see that it's coming down here and it's bounced there, it's bounced there. I can draw a support by going back to this little drawing tool. And I'll go down to my horizontal line and I see support right here. Bam. You look at that. See, it bounced off that support, bounced off that, bounced off that. And that support is at 189 in between here. But you can get really technical now. So check this out. That's a faraway support. Here's a resistance. And this is getting crazy because you can really dive deep into this. Let me go to the horizontal line. This was support, right? And it broke above it, and there's resistance. And now it's battling right here, and it's battling that resistance from way back there. But look, since this battled, this is resistance. Let me draw a line here. Watch this. Here's resistance. So that's resistance now. Now, once it breaks through resistance, that resistance comes support. So Jeremy was asking me, where is the next support? And let's see what he said, and let's see the price we got here. 291 is where I see support now because it broke through the next resistance. It bounced off support, and once it broke through this resistance, that became support. And you can see it became support because it tested it. We always want that back test. So right now, support is at 291. Jeremy asked me, which time frame would you use? It all depends, man. I use like long time frame, monthly, to go back and look at like resistance. I use like a daily time frame to look at what's been going on within the last month. I can use the 3 or 5 minute if I want to be trading, day trading. I want to see what's going on just in that day. Right now, I've been using daily. So here we are again. This is just a daily. Let me just tell you, when I look at something like this, I already got my supports and resistance, right? There's the resistance, there's the support. And then that first thing I want to do, and anytime you look at a chart, you want to see what kind of trend you're in. I can see I'm in an uptrend. How do you draw that? I've talked about this before. Check out my channel. You go here and you go down to parallel channels. I'm big at using parallel channels. And you draw from the bottom where it touches it the most, like that. What, I got 3 touches. And you click and you go up. There's my channel. XRP isn't an uptrend. So this is what I'm thinking when I'm looking at it. It broke out of this resistance right here in the uptrend. It came over, it broke out of it. It went up, and it hit the resistance way back what I just showed you back in 2018. It hit the resistance and came back, but it did test that support. So what's going to probably happen for the next week or whatever, it is going to trade in between this support and this resistance. And you could trade that. It's going to trade in between 291, that black is the support, and 330, that is the resistance. It's going to trade in this channel until it breaks out. it's going to either go to the top, go to all-time high, or it's going to break below and go down to the next support, which could be that. That's a really strong support. Look, I can draw more supports. Check this out. Now, this gets crazy, man. This is enough to like blow your mind here. I got my horizontal line. I see more supports in here. Ready? Check this out. Tell me if you see them. I see this is a support. Yeah, that could be a support right there because it's hitting it a lot. It could go down to that price. What is that, 217? Let's see, there's more supports in here. Let me do another support, horizontal line. This could be a support right here. Just like, where did it touch? Right here, bang. Look how right here was a resistance. It was resistance. It was a resistance. It broke out. Once it breaks out, that becomes support. Look at all these support lines, man, in the black. You know, you can get deep into this stuff. That's a lot of information. It's like, pow! You might have to go back and watch that a couple times. But look, if any of you guys are interested in technical analysis, look, I use my own indicators. Like, I know what I know. But if you ever have any questions about some things, maybe I can help you out and make you a video too. Look, guys, we thank you for watching. If you could subscribe, it'd help the channel out. If you can leave a comment. If you don't know what to say, just say, thanks, man. Or, you know, give me a thumbs up. Share the videos would be even better. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Homestead Overland, Virginia.